So in today's video, I'm going to share with you a new pair of shoes that I just picked up in the mail. That is a New Balance 990 V2 in this Teddy Santis inspired colorway. This is actually one of 3 that released from the Teddy Santis inspired collection. He's actually planning to release about 16 pairs of different models, such as the 990 V1, V2, V3, and the V4. So in case you're new to the channel, my name is Oliver. I love to talk about sneakers, as well as some of the shoes that I picked up recently. So in case you like that type of content with sneaker reviews and on-foot looks, feel free to subscribe to the channel. So in case you've seen some of my videos on the New Balance 550, you've probably already heard of the name Teddy Santis at this point. In case you haven't, Teddy Santis is actually the creative visionary behind Aime Leon Dore, which is a New York-based streetwear label, which kind of represents the city of New York and all the different moods and sports and activities that you can find in that big city. So essentially, he's injected a lot of that personality and flavor of Aime Leon Dore into New Balance's Made in USA line. So dive into the history of the New Balance 990 series in general. The New Balance 990 V1 initially released back in 1982 for a retail price of $100. This was pretty astonishing because at the time, $100 was a big deal, and this is actually the first shoe to do so. I think the reason why they retail for $100 is because New Balance wanted to really show off its cushioning, the support, craftsmanship, as well as the fact that it was made in USA. Now fast forward 16 years later, in 1998, the New Balance 990 V2 comes out. And now, instead of having more of a walking style shoe aesthetic, New Balance really wanted to capture the running aesthetic that was really popular at the time. So essentially, if you go around the shoe itself, you have a lot of inspiration for a running sneaker, of course, because of course this is a running sneaker. And you have a lot of mesh overlays to help enforce breathability. You also have a lot of cushioning in the heel and the forefoot to help, absorb any kind of contact with the ground to make running a little bit more of a fun experience. This was an insanely popular sneaker back then, and I think even to this day, now in 2022, it's still a very popular shoe, to the point where I think this immediately sold out as soon as it came out. So I'm really happy to have my hands on a pair. I was able to get this pair off of GOAT for pretty much retail, so I was really excited for that. So diving into the shoe itself, what we have is an upper that consists primarily of mesh, as well as this hairy pigskin suede. Now, from the pictures I'm about to show on the screen, you can really see the quality of the hairy pigskin suede. It's very smooth to the touch, and it's very pliable, meaning like I can move my hand through the suede and you can really see that the texture changes along with it. So going along the lateral side of the shoe, we have paneling of this kind of green mesh. On the lateral side, we also have this N logo, which has a reflective pattern here. So when the light hits it at the right angle, it really lets out a nice reflective glare, which is really pleasant and looks really cool in my opinion. Going along the toe box now, we have the same type of mesh in that green colorway, along with overlays of dark gray and a reflective hit right here. So surrounding the mesh, we also have this toe, which is covered in that hairy pigskin suede again. Now going to the medial side of the sneaker, we pretty much have the exact copy of that of the lateral side. So going to the back of the sneaker, we have this hit of 3M with the letters USA stitched onto the back. We also have this gray heel clip to help reinforce stability. And we also have the Absorb cushioning exposed here in this little bubble. So going past the toe, we have a tongue that's made out of this nice smooth nubuck. And then we have the numbers 990 stitched onto it, as well as the branding New Balance and Made in USA stitched right below it. So going into the insole, this features a Dura Pontex insole, not necessarily Ortholite I feel, and it's not a very plush insole as you can tell. But essentially you're kind of relying on the Absorb for the cushioning. In terms of the branding here, we have New Balance done in this like traditional font, as well as athletic shoes, Boston, Massachusetts stamped underneath. So I feel like it's a nice looking insole. It's got this cream based color, and I feel like it really works with the aesthetics of the sneaker. So going to the midsole is primarily done in this cream based colorway. I think cream and off-white and sail, these are really popular colors to help reinforce that vintage feel that these shoes are going through. So going to the outsole, it's primarily a full rubber outsole, and we have a good traction pattern here with the words Absorb, the N in the arch, as well as the New Balance branding on the heel. So in terms of sizing for this sneaker, I typically wear a 10.5 and I have a pretty wide foot. I got these in the size 10.5 and I'd say they fit pretty perfectly. I know for other made in USA's you could typically size down a bit, but because I have really wide feet, I think sticking to 10.5 is like a pretty solid choice. So if you have a slightly narrow foot or even a normal foot, I could say you could get away with going down half a size for this pair. But if you have a slightly wide foot, I'd stick with true to size. So as to whether or not the shoe is worth getting, I'd say if you can get it for retail like how I did, it's probably a pretty good bet. But nowadays, these sneakers are going for probably $20 to $30 higher than retail. So it's probably not a bad deal at that point. So in terms of how to style the sneaker, I think you could wear them with shorts, pants, anything you want really. These work really well. I personally prefer to wear these with like some shorts and some socks, and I feel like this colorway is very versatile too. You can wear it with just about anything, and that's the thing I really like about New Balance is because they're so simple yet so versatile, and I really appreciate the fact that I can just wear the shoe with just about anything. So yeah, that's just about does it for this shoe. I really like it, and I'm going to try and hopefully get the V1 and the V3 on the channel as soon as I can. And yeah, just really excited to share my latest pickup. Well, thanks so much for watching. If you've been to the channel before and you've seen some of my videos, I really do appreciate your support. If not, you might want to consider subscribing. I'm going to be uploading more content about sneakers in the near future. And yeah, any of your feedback would be super helpful. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.